Hello again, everybody. I'm Lori. Welcome back to Milkweeds and Roses. I have an urgent task to do. Urgent. I'm trying to actually prevent disaster this time. As you can see, right here behind me, I have this beautiful little lime tree. I first got it last summer, on the discount bin at a big box store. It was in pretty bad shape. So I didn't expect anything really from it its first year. I was just trying to keep it alive. So it put on some growth. I brought it in over the winter and then, brought it out. The first that it had some good light out here, but if there was any threat of anything cold, anything below 40 degrees, I'd have to bring it back inside. So that out and in and out and in, the transfer part, that's why I put it in a plastic pot to keep it lightweight, and it was small. But now it's put on a lot more growth, and it even has some limes growing. I'm so tickled about that. But the problem that I've had, this has happened 3 times now, is this falls over. It's because the pot is lightweight, but the plant no longer is. So it's top heavy. So it tips over easily in a wind, or if a squirrel lands on it or something like that. There's always something going on that's wildlife related in my garden. So I need to put it in a more substantial pot, a heavier pot, to prevent the tipping and also give it some more room to grow. Now, the key when it comes to repotting, really anything, is the pot material and the pot size. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here is the pot it's in. It has a good drainage opportunity. There's actually a big divot in the bottom, almost like a like a nice wine bottle or something, so that it can have some water that might be able to retain just a little bit to keep it moist, but also helps it drain. So it was completely root bound. I did repot it earlier in the year, but again, that didn't solve the issue of having it be top heavy. Now I have some little limes growing here. Here are a couple, and this is new for me. These aren't hardy in my zone, so I'm not really sure when I can pick them, but I do have other blooms coming possibly, and I want to keep the growth and keep it healthy. See, look at that. That could be something. And then there's another one right there. There are a couple little limes on this. I hope the other one didn't fall off, but there were 2 there, and there was a third one over in here. Oh, there it is, teeny tiny. Do you see him? So that one growing. Okay, now I look at the circumference of that pot. It's medium sized, certainly easy enough for me to handle. But I don't want a pot that's going to be too terribly much bigger. A little bit, but it's certainly more substantial because it's ceramic. And these pots are expensive. Even though this is what the list price said, I got it for a little bit less than that because it was a pot sale. It's a fall thing. But yeah, I've got some container mix soil, moisture control. I have some citrus tone to put in as I plant it. I have a little shard maybe to put in the bottom so that the soil doesn't leach out. Again, it's not for drainage purposes. It's just to keep the soil in place so it doesn't make a mess when I do bring it inside and continue to water it over the winter. So, yes, soil. And you notice the circumference of this pot really isn't much bigger than this one. If I went too big of a pot, like it's a grown-up pot, it would sit in wet. Its roots would be wet all the time, and they don't like that. Really, no plants like that. So you have to keep it just maybe a size or 2 bigger and continue to up pot it until it gets to its grown-up pot size. But again, my thing is I've got to be able to lift it in and out, to lift it inside over the winter. And I just, put it in my sunroom over the winter. So some of my heavier pots, you'll notice I put them on wheels so that I can move them around. And then I do that. I've got a jade tree that I bring in every winter. I've had it for, well, since I took my Master Gardener classes. I got a cutting of it from my instructor for Master Gardener. That was like 2019. So yeah, and she's put on some good growth. She likes it out here. This is her summer vacation. I take her out every year, but yeah, she needs to be on coasters because that pot is a backbreaker, let me tell you. And this one, I just empty it out over the winter and keep it out here, but I do have it on coasters so I can move it around. Same with all of these others. Okay, they're on coasters so I can move them to chase the sun. Now this tree, or this little shrub does come inside too. Just a little corn plant. And this one is a frost-free container, but I just put annuals in it, and I've got dahlias right now, so I just keep annuals in that. And again, I move it around to chase the sun. That's what I do. So, okay, and hello from the dogs, safely out of harm's way. They seem to be more secure when they're up high. I think it's a small dog thing. How are you, my darling? How's your baby? How's your mama's boyfriend? How are you? And you, heartbreaker, this one, I know. You're fine. You're just fine. You're just gonna keep track of me? Are you all right? Are you good? Now, is it time for lunch? Are you hungry? Oh, well, that's an always thing for Chihuahua. How about you? Do I need to take a pause before I start this project and feed you? Yes? All right.
And here we go. Okay, the first thing I did was I'm starting with a new bag of container mix. And I'm realizing that this ceramic container is just deep, not necessarily wider. I'm added some citrus tone here, just a little dusting along the bottom to make sure it's going to be good for the roots. Took a bit of effort to get it out of this container. I was kind of surprised. And that's, again, where I'm realizing, all right, it's just as wide as the previous container, but it is deeper. So I have to take some of the dirt out to make sure it's going to work, and then redo the citrus tone because I took the dirt out that I had it in. So I'm putting it in there. Now time to refit and see how that works. I'm realizing I'll probably have it in this container maybe 1 or 2 years at the most, and then I will have to get a bigger container. So it took some work to get down there, but at least it'll be heavy enough to not tip over, and that's the goal. All right, I think it's going to be healthy from here on out. Took a while to tamp it back in there. Now, I know that it will settle a bit, so this is a little bit more full in the container than I would like, but like I said, I know it's going to settle. And then I had some rocks and some colorful little stones on the top to thwart the diggers as well as anything else, but it also helps with drainage and helps it look good. So, had to re-add that. That came out when I removed it from the original container. And, taking a look all the way around and seeing how it's working and make sure there's no air pockets, pressing it down, and presto, Bob's your uncle. And the last step is watering. I mean a really good water to make sure that it goes all the way through to the bottom of the pot. And the way that I can tell if it's made it all the way to the bottom of the pot is if it is starting to drain out of the bottom. So I'm looking for some water to come out of the bottom. So I must have put, half of a watering can in there. That's more than a gallon. And again, I want to have good root contact throughout the pot. This will also help it settle. And I can see there is some drainage coming out of the bottom now, and the water is mostly clear. So I'll keep good eye on this one and make sure that it is hydrated, but not overly watered. But I think it's good.
Okay, that's another job done. On to the next. Thanks for joining me for this video. Let me know if you have comments or questions. I hope you subscribe to the channel. And let me know if you have some last-minute emergency repots to do in your garden. It's just part of the deal. We'll see you next time. Does it look good? Yes? Does it look good? I think so. I do too.